JDev is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 5 episode review video. But before I get into that, it's extremely important if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead for you to pay attention to that episode title. I'll even put that in the description if that's the case and you find out that you're not caught up. Well, then I suggest, and everybody else does too, that you don't watch this video any further to stay away from potential spoilers. This will be The Walking Dead Season 5 episode number 3. The title of this episode is called Four Walls and a Roof. This will be my review, reaction, recap of the episode. I've seen it a few times. I'm reviewing it to have it on the channel, and I'm reviewing it due to the fact that they announced that The Walking Dead Season 11 will be the conclusion of the main Walking Dead show. So we have Gareth and the other remaining Terminus members taunting Bob as they eat his leg, and Gareth expresses his anger towards Carol, who killed his mother, and states that they saw Carol and Daryl, or Carol and the Archer, drive off together as they were approaching the church. They had planned to capture and eat Rick and the rest of the group, but Bob would do fine. Bob starts laughing and tells them that he was bitten the previous day, shows them the bite mark and says, "Tainted meat and fresh meat," and goes a little bit crazy nonetheless. And then the Terminus group starts panicking, fearing they will turn, and then Gareth knocks out Bob to stop his hysterical laughter. And then at the church, as they realize that Bob, Carol, and Daryl are missing, Sasha confronts Father Gabriel about their whereabouts. Gabriel cannot answer, but this leads to Rick questioning him about the fate of his congregation. Gabriel is forced to admit that when the apocalypse started, he had locked his congregation out of the church and allowed them to be killed by walkers. Interesting stuff. That's why he had such a hard time with that lady at the food bank place. The group hears a noise outside and finds that Bob is there, having been left there by the Terminus group. Bob tells them about his bite mark, Gareth, Carol and Daryl's absence, and Gareth's presence nearby. Rick wants to stay until Carol and Daryl return, but Abraham refuses to risk Eugene's life. Glenn agrees with Abraham and convinces Abraham to stay 12 more hours and promises to leave with him should Carol and Daryl not return by then. The group prepares to defend against Gareth, and Sasha instructs Tyrese to watch Bob and prepare to stab him in the head with a knife should he die. And then at night, Rick and some of the group leave to search for Gareth, but Gareth and his group are hiding nearby. They break into the church while Rick's group is out of sight, but Rick and the others were lying in wait and return. Two of the Terminus members are killed before Rick and the others hold Gareth and the others at gunpoint. Gareth then begs for mercy with Martin, promising not to eat anyone of Rick's group. Rick tells him that if he doesn't feed on his friends, they will find somebody else to feed on. Rick, Sasha, Michonne, and Abraham slaughter, and I mean slaughter, the Terminus group, much to the chagrin of the others and to the Gabriel's anguish for spilling blood in God's house. Maggie reminds him that the church is just four walls and a roof. Michonne recovers her stolen katana sword from one of the bodies that had it. So that's good. Michonne has her sword back because she's just not very good with a gun. And then Bob survives until morning, where the group says their goodbyes to him. And then he dies in Sasha's arms before Tyrese, and then after Tyrese stabs him in the head. Bob is buried. Abraham prepares to set out with Eugene, Rosita, Glenn, Maggie, and Tara. And then Abraham gives Rick a map of their route to Washington, D.C. As they leave, Rick sees that Abraham left an encouraging message for Rick to follow as soon as they can. And then that evening, Michonne is talking to Gabriel, who is still distressed about the violence he saw in his church today, and Michonne hears a noise in the nearby bushes, and Daryl appears. And Michonne asks him about Carol, and Daryl turns to a nearby bush and instructs someone to come out. And that is the end of the episode. So, brutal episode with the Terminus people getting slaughtered. I feel like they didn't last as long as they should have, and that does bother me to a degree. And parts of this episode were really slow. So it's really good in one hand and not so good on the other. So I did like it, though. As far as the score of the episode, I'm going to give it an 8.8 out of 10. A lot of people give this episode a little bit higher of a score. I find some parts just a little boring, but still a good episode, and shows how brutal that group combined can be. So 8.8 out of 10. Character of the episode, I'm going to give it to Rick, because Rick was just insane. Although Sasha could have got it, and Bob could have even got it. Well, no, not Bob. We lost Bob in this episode, and that's unfortunate. His character got a lot more important in the second half of Season 4 and the beginning of Season 5. So those are my thoughts. You've heard all I have to say. Now it's your turn. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like this episode and enjoy this season, go ahead and smash that like button. If you know anybody else that would be interested in listening or watching this video, share the video to them, and then let them know that they can share it with other people. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments section. There could be a lot of things you could comment about. You can comment specifically about the episode, your score of the episode, your character of the episode, your favorite moment of the episode, or you can comment about your least favorite episodes of The Walking Dead, or favorite episodes of The Walking Dead, or favorite characters, or least favorite characters. All that stuff works, and of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to this channel, join the team, show your support, and be a part of something special, and JDev will return.